Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. For those who follow me, you might know I've been on a lovely holiday to Menorca, and it was me and my husband. And I was thinking about the fact that whilst on holiday, dynamics might change because you're out of your routine, and that could throw the couple into a bit of a span. I was just realizing that this time went surprisingly well, and I thought, why not do a little bit on relationships today? A couple of tips, just for future reference. So, what I would like to talk about today is communication. Now, we all know that communication is absolutely fundamental when it comes to relationships. What I would like to introduce today is a very simple idea, and it is that of the languages of love. Now, the 5 languages of love, as it here was first developed by Gary Chapman. It has then been revised, and as it is something quite intuitive and quite understandable, it's been used quite a lot in personal development and couple development. So I thought, let's give it a brief look. Now, first of all, the idea behind the 5 languages of love is to say that we all speak different languages when giving and receiving love. Now, that means that sometimes we can find ourselves lost in translation simply because one of us speaks a language and another one speaks a different one. Now, what are the 5 languages? Let's have a better look. Now, the first language is words of affirmation. Now, that's pretty simple. It's words that express care, words that express love, verbal expression of affection or compliments, putting up your partner, building them up, finding what's positive in them, and bringing that up for them to see so that they feel validated and they feel loved, really. The second language of love is acts of service. Now, acts of service can be literally anything you do towards caring for your partner. So it could be doing a chore so that they don't have to do it, or it could simply mean doing something which expresses the fact that you care about them. For example, during my holiday, I know that I like to lie on the beach, and my husband doesn't as much, but he's been doing that for me. And on the other hand, I know that he's a photographer buff. So what I do when I plan the holiday is look for spots that I know he can enjoy. Those are both acts of service. So those are both ways that we are expressing our care for each other by physically doing something. Now, the third love language is quality time. Now, quality time is almost obviously quality time. You know, we all use the word, we all think we understand it, even though sometimes quality time comes to be reduced to just spending the amount of time you spend with a person in the same space, in the same room, in the same house. But that is not quality time. Quality time is when you consciously put time away or make time to spend with the other person doing something you both love, or simply having a chat together, catching up on how your week has been. That's all, again, a way to express love by spending time together, which is meaningful. The fourth love language is physical touch. Now, physical touch can be a little tricky because there are some people which are really appreciative of it and really touchy, and there are certain people which are not touchy at all. Now, I've come to notice that this distinction is not as strict when you are with a partner you love. Meaning, I am not a touchy-feely person, but I love holding hands with my husband, for example. It's a way that we connect to each other. So, again, you might be on different levels of this. You might be on different fronts of this. One of you might love them, one of you might not. It's about finding a balance which works for both the people. The fifth love language is gifts. Now, gifts, obviously, you think, oh, that's so material. But the point of gifts is really another, in my opinion. In my opinion, it is about doing something unexpected. So if it is a flower picked up from the street, but on a given day, on a day which is nothing, it's not an anniversary, it's not a birthday, it's not an occasion, it's just a day, then that's when gifts, in my opinion, come to signify something more than just a material giving. They come to signify having thought of you, you know, having cared about you, and having had that thoughtfulness to actually bring something to you just for you to feel special. So these are the five love languages. Now, where do we go from here? The first thing to do, in my opinion, is to observe. Always observe yourself, your reactions, your behaviors, and your partner's behaviors and reactions. Now, after having done that, you might have a clearer idea of what it is that you need to receive in order to feel love, and what you, on the other hand, like to give, but maybe need to give differently to your partner so that the partner feels loved and understood as well. The second thing to do is to have a good old chat, have a conversation with your partner, discuss how they show love, how they love receiving love, and have a real conversation about what we've just talked about, so about the different love languages, and take turns, share your perspectives. Remember that feelings are valid, so always try to validate your partner's feelings even when you don't necessarily agree. You might say things like, I see where you're coming from. I can understand why you feel the way you feel, even though that means that you don't necessarily feel the same way. So you can still be in a disagreement, you can still have your difference of opinion, but you can validate each other and each other's feelings. How can you then make sure that the expression of love you give is received by your partner for who they are? Now, implement eventually small changes, just so that you are a little lost in translation, a little more in line with your partner. And most importantly of all, do not feel unloved because somebody expresses love in a way that is different than the way you think it needs to be received. So that's my biggest takeaway. Do not feel unloved just because of different love languages. That's all for today. I hope you have a lovely rest of the week and speak soon.